Mr. McDonald.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Can you please state your full name for the record and spell your last name?
Stephen Timothy Todd, last name is Todd.
Sir, are you currently employed?
Yes, sir.
Where at?
With the City of Detroit Lakes with the Police Department.
And what is your title?
I'm the Chief of Police.
Could you outline your educational background?
Certainly, I graduated from high school in 1991 and I went to college at Morehead State University and I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, graduating in 1995.
Could you outline your law enforcement experience?
Certainly. I started as a part-timer while I was in college back in 1994. I was hired with my first police job in 1995 with the City of Fargo as a police officer. In 1999, I went to work for Clay County Sheriff's Office. I went through a few promotions at Clay County, finishing there in 2016 when I was hired as the Chief of Police here in Detroit Lakes.
You've served as the DL chief since 2016?
Yes, sir.
Let me just interrupt a moment here. Chief, the microphones are pretty sensitive. You have a pretty strong voice. If you could just move it back a little bit there, and we won't get any of the
I
feedback.
apologize, sir.
That's okay.
Chief Todd, I want to turn your attention to April 22nd, 2024. Do you recall that morning?
Yes, sir.
Were you made aware of arrest of Nicole Mitchell?
Yes, sir.
What is can you explain the chain of command in your office?
Sure. I oversee the department as the Chief of Police. At that time, at the time of this incident, there were 3 sergeants. 2 of the sergeants are assigned to the patrol division and they work a patrol schedule with all of the patrol officers. One of the sergeants was, at the time, assigned to the investigations division and would supervise investigators and school resource officers. The officers report directly to the sergeants and the sergeants to me.
At the time of the defendant's arrest, did you kind of take an active role in this case?
I did.
Why is that?
The day of the arrest, there was a large number of media inquiries about the arrest due to the nature of the situation. So I became involved in responding to a lot of those. And then I also assisted just reviewing reports and body cam footage of the incident.
I want to jump ahead a tiny bit. Did you go to Carol Mitchell's house on April 25th,
Yes, sir.
2024?
Yes, sir.
Okay. At that time, did Carol Mitchell demonstrate to you what had occurred on the morning of April 22nd?
She did, yes.
Did she walk through being awoken and such?
Yes, she brought us to her bedroom and described kind of step by step what happened when she was awakened that morning of the call.
Was your body-worn camera activated on April 25th?
Yes, sir.
Okay, did you record that conversation with Ms. Mitchell?
Yes, sir.
Was it a true and accurate depiction of that interaction that morning?
Yes, sir.
And have you had a chance to review that portion of it prior to trial?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, Chief Todd, if I told you it was marked as Exhibit 113 in our exhibit system, would you have any reason to doubt me?
No.
Your Honor, at this time, I would ask to offer Exhibit 113.
No objection, Your Honor.
Exhibit 113 is received.
I would ask to briefly publish, Your Honor.
You may.
and Jim here, vacuum cleaner guy just left, so
Hi, Carol.
hi.
Jim, how are you today?
Okay.
Carol, I know we didn't call ahead or anything, but would you be okay if we were to go take a look
Yeah.
around the house and downstairs and
Yeah,
look for
I mean, I don't mind.
any more potential evidence? We've got
Yeah.
maybe a couple of things in mind that we are looking for.
Jim cleaned out that big drop window over there,
Yeah, I got all
where
the
that
leaves
pry
out
bar
there,
was,
where all the
just to
bar
see if
was.
anything else was in there, but it was just leaves and dirt. So,
While we're up here, could you show us your bedroom and where the person was that you stepped on?
yeah. Down here. I sleep right here. She was laying right here with her head.
Let me get up here with my body camera so you can describe it.
Okay,
Okay?
okay, I sleep here.
Yep.
And she was laying right here, her head was at that end and her feet at this end.
Okay. Is there anything that you keep?
Three drawers under there, but there's,
What do you keep in those drawers?
socks, underwear.
Okay.
You know, I checked to see if there was any, this is just an empty box. I was checking to make sure that's just, you know.
Okay, just,
But I did keep, for a long time, I kept my pistol
okay.
here. And I'm sure.
So what, you
She may be
leaned up,
aware
you
of it.
stepped out of bed and you
Well,
actually,
something woke me, and I sleep with earplugs, so I couldn't figure out what it was that woke me.
Yep.
If it was a loud sound, or if, what, so I just, what was that? And I stepped on, and I stepped on a body,
Oh.
and it moved.
yeah,
And I went, what the hell? And I jumped on like this and grabbed, because I thought it was like a little kid or something.
Uh-huh.
I didn't think it. And then when it was bigger, well, at first I thought, yeah, a man had broken, but it was too small for a big man, so then I thought it was a little boy or some teenager got in or something. And then she shot out, ran out down the hall through the kitchen and down into the basement.
okay. Okay,
Okay.
I'll follow you, ma'am, thank you.
Basement?
So, and you definitely saw this person hang a left
Yes,
and go
I
down?
was right behind her. I mean,
Okay.
and I still thought it was a boy. You know, I never, until you guys told me it was Nicole, I didn't know. Anyway.
So Chief Todd, you were intimately aware of the defendant's arrest, is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
And you were aware when she was formally charged?
Yes, sir.
Do you recall which day that was?
No, I don't remember which date. I would guess it would have been the following date after the arrest, but
April 23rd?
yes.
Would it be also fair to say that you are aware of, when she had court proceedings and was released from custody?
Yes, sir.
Chief Todd, I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit 114. You see that document, sir?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
Is it a true and accurate record generated from the jail system?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'm going to offer 114 at this time.
No objection, Your Honor.
114 is received.
I would ask to publish, Your Honor.
You may.
Okay, Chief Todd, I'm going to direct you to the middle portion of this document. Does it state when Ms. Mitchell was booked in or began officially being in custody?
Yes, sir.
What time is that?
05:36 hours on April 22nd, sir.
Okay. Does it state when she was released from custody?
Yes, sir.
Could you read that time for us?
11:58 hours on April 23rd, 2024.
Thank you. Now, Chief, you had testified already that you kind of took an active role in this case, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Given the defendant's title, did you continue to monitor things?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you observe, did anything else come to your attention later that afternoon after the defendant was released?
Yes, sir.
What was that, sir?
I was notified, and I don't remember by whom, but I was notified of a social media post that the defendant had put on Facebook.
Did you capture a copy of that, sir?
Yes, sir, I did.
Chief Todd, I'm showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 115, 115. Do you recognize that, sir?
Yes, sir, that's the screen grab that I made of that posting.
From which website?
Facebook?
And does it appear to be a exact replica of the screen grab that you did?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'm going to offer Exhibit 115.
No objection, Your Honor.
Exhibit 115 is received.
I would ask to publish, Your Honor.
You may.
Chief Todd, could you read the defendant's social media post?
Sure. Regarding the recent news, like so many families, mine is dealing with the pain of watching a loved one decline due to Alzheimer's and associated paranoia. Over the weekend, I learned of medical information which caused me grave concern and prompted me to check on that family member. I entered a home I have come and gone from countless times in the past 20 years, where my son even once had his own room. Unfortunately, I startled this close relative, exacerbating paranoia, and I was accused of stealing, which I absolutely deny. Thank you to all my close friends and colleagues of both parties for the kind words of support and for trusting my character even before I had a chance to respond. This has been a true tragedy for our family, and my hope is that it can return to being a private matter.
Thank you. Now, Chief Todd, you had, as supervisor, you had reviewed the body-worn camera footage in this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And in your, did this social media post appear to be consistent with what you had observed on the body-worn camera?
No, sir.
Chief Todd, were you made aware of any other statements that the defendant published?
I believe I attached a public statement later on, but I don't remember the date that that was made. I believe I attached another public statement by the defendant to the case file.
Chief Todd, I'm showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 116, 116. Do you recognize this?
Yes, sir.
And can you tell us what this was?
This would be that release from the defendant that I published later.
Again, you saved a copy of this?
Yes, sir.
Does this appear to be a true and accurate copy?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'm going to offer Exhibit 116.
No objection.
Exhibit 116 is received.
Your Honor, I would ask to publish at this time.
You may.
I'm not going to ask you to read that, Chief Todd.
Okay.
And Chief Todd, you were present, I think we've already covered this, you were present at Carol Mitchell's home on the April 25th,
Yes, sir.
and you assisted with what we've been calling as the point of entry investigation.
Yes, sir.
You were present when Investigator Vic Mark and Sergeant Glander made their observations and took photographs.
Yes, sir.
After April 25th, did you have any other active role in this investigation?
Yes, sir. I don't remember the exact date without my notes, but I did have some interaction with the Becker County Jail regarding an item that was on the defendant's person at the time of her processing. However, we weren't aware of that item until later on in the week.
And as chief, you've kind of looked over this whole case file, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And like with any investigation, there's a few items that you wish the state had, or the agency had done differently. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Could you just walk us through a couple of those things that, looking back, you wish you had taken charge of?
Sure. The item that was found on the defendant's person during her booking process was some type of a fingertip flashlight glove device. The jailers found it during the pat-down and it wasn't saved. The arresting officer wasn't notified, so that item was lost and it was given back to the defendant during her out processing. I would have liked to have that item as evidence for the court process. Or the other things that I wished we'd have done different, I wished we'd have seized the defendant's cell phone. I don't believe we did. I would have liked to have had that for multiple reasons, but for a lot of data that may have been contained on that phone.
In the defendant's car, was it ever searched?
It was not. I would have, now that you remind me of that, sir, I wished we would have impounded the car and done a search warrant on the car to see what other items were there.
But all in all, fair to say you're proud of your officers?
I am. It's very rare in this part of the country to have an active home burglary occur when a resident is in the home. It's very rare. And then for the officers to make an arrest in that situation is also very rare. So I am proud that the officers successfully made that arrest, and the basics of the criminal elements were met in their arrest.
Thank you, Chief Todd. I have no further questions.
Thank you.
Mr. Ringstrom?
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Chief.
Yes, sir. Good morning, or good afternoon.
There was 2 active burglaries that morning, wasn't there? You watched the body camera videos. I know Deputy Bruce isn't in your chain of command, but you're familiar that there was another active burglary. He had to leave Carol Mitchell's home because there was another one going on at the same time.
I remember hearing that dispatched on the body camera video, but I don't know any of the details of that event.
Court records here in Becker County would reflect that burglary charges happened with some regularity.
Yes.
Okay. Chief Todd, you watched your body camera video there. Carol Mitchell said to you that she first thought it was a big man, correct?
On the body camera?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And then she said, then she thought it was a little boy, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you aware whether there was a forensic examination done of Carol Mitchell's cell phone in this case?
I'm not aware of that, sir.
Okay. Are you aware whether Carol Mitchell's medical records were ever secured by law enforcement in this case?
I'm not aware of that, sir.
Is there any reason that you would not be aware of it if it in fact happened?
There's a lot of data with the case, but I think I would generally be aware of it if it happened, sir.
Are you aware of whether there was a search warrant for Nicole Mitchell's phone secured at any time following her release?
I do not believe we did a search warrant for Nicole Mitchell's phone, sir.
Are you aware whether the Detroit Lakes Police Department coordinated with the Woodbury Police Department, where Nicole Mitchell lives, to execute any type of searches?
No, I'm not aware of that, sir.
Okay. Are you aware whether any law enforcement in this file did any search for fingerprints in this case?
I don't believe that happened, sir.
Are you aware whether any of Roderick Mitchell's or Carol Mitchell's possessions were found in Nicole Mitchell's possession following her detention? It's a complicated question. Is it your understanding that Nicole Mitchell didn't have any of Rod or Carol Mitchell's stuff when she was arrested or detained?
I believe she had one item that at the time we believed was Carol's property.
And that's the laptop, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, and so if Sergeant Glander testified to that that's been ruled out, besides the laptop, are you aware of any other possessions of Rod or Carol Mitchell's that Nicole Mitchell had in her possession?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Chief. I have no further questions.
Thank you.
Mr. McDonald?
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, and Chief, you may step down.
Thank you.
Again, watch your step. Mr. McDonald, your next witness.
Stay with rest.
All right.